Alright, yeah. Thank you for coming to the Tarot Read Show. Uh, Make sure this is going. What's going on, Leela? Hmm. Okay. Hey, get off of there. Alright. Welcome to the Tarot Read Show. My name is Dylan Nelson, and yeah, I'm the host. This is just a show where I do tarot readings for people. At the moment, I just get the readings off of Reddit. And yeah, sorry if I seem distracted there for a minute. For when I got my cat running around me, that's producer Leela. And I also had myself pulled up on the screen over there so I could make sure that this stream was working. So, yep, just a little out of sorts for a second there. But yeah, again, this is the Tarot Read Show, and I'm just here to read do some tarot readings. In the future, I'm doing this live right now, but I'm not expecting anyone to watch live in the future, though. I'm hoping to have people come in live and ask me questions live. But for now, I just get questions off of Reddit. There's this subreddit called Tarot Practice, I believe. And yeah, it's got a lot of people wanting answers to a lot of questions. So I don't think I'm going to be running short of any until I finally do have people watching this like normal. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say up at the top of this thing. If anybody wants to get to know me a little better, TV show I've been watching lately on HBO, Creature Commandos. It's a DC, it's a kind of a comic book, definitely a comic book show, but it's it's a cartoon animated and really surprisingly good. Yeah, I won't say a lot about it. It's just like it's sort of a Suicide Squad kind of show, except with monsters instead. And it's a fun show. Anything else I want to talk about? There were a couple people who watched. Were a bit confused about the name of the show. It's the Tarot Read Show. Okay, it's not. Some people were saying like, hey, it sounds like you're saying the Tarot Read Show. Which is a person. She's an actress from like the early 2000s. She's been in the Sharknado movies recently. I mostly know her from Scrubs, where she was JD's love interest for a little bit, if anybody remembers the show Scrubs. But yeah, it's not the Tarot Read Show. This is a Tarot Read Show, where we do tarot readings. So, not Tarot Read Show, Tarot Read Show. Okay, so thankfully clear that up now. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Jump into the Tarot Read Show and do some tarot readings. Yeah. And like I said, I just got these off of Reddit, and I made sure to be very clear in my post that this was going to be a public thing. So I blocked out names and even blocked out their little profile pictures. So all anonymous, and I told them use just initials instead of full names, just make it as anonymous as possible. But even still, I did get a question or two, one very interesting question where they asked me very much to leave out most of it and just they had a very concise question that I'll answer. But yeah, I got some interesting questions this time, which is nice. And not that all the questions aren't interesting in their own ways, just I want this show to be uh, kind of about testing the boundaries of tarot, but also have it be fun, which does mean answering, more out there questions, whatever they may be. People. I was just talking about a show about monsters, and maybe people want to ask me, something about where Bigfoot exists or something. I don't know. So yeah, just keep an open mind if you see this and you want to submit a question. Anything, even just if you feel like you'd be dumb asking a normal, traditional, professional tarot reader, please ask me. I want to be open to all that stuff, and hopefully you'll see in my readings today. I doubt anybody watches this intro ever, because they probably just jump right to the readings. But hopefully you'll see that I try and be genuine, and I do try and be honest to what the cards say, and I try to go at this with empathy for everybody who's submitting questions. So I do take it seriously, but yeah, just also feel free to throw me some curveballs, because that is a lot of fun, and you might find out something weird too. Who knows? You might find out something interesting. Let's jump to it. I was just shuffling my deck. I always, I think most tarot readers, they like to shuffle your deck, work with your deck for a bit before you actually do readings. And let me see here, bring up my little card screen, and then I for some reason, a lot of tarot readers will also recognize this, and in fact, a lot of scientists and more analytical-minded people recognize this too, where a card or just anything in life starts leaping out at you more. And yes, there's very scientific and psychological explanation for it. I believe it's like a Bader-Meinhof syndrome. I don't know if it's a syndrome or not, but it's something where once you learn about something or see something, you'll start to see it. You'll notice it more out in life and out in the world, and it'll be like, did this thing even exist before I found out about it? But now I'm seeing it everywhere. It happens all the time, and it happens in tarot too. I've been before my very first episode about 4 weeks ago, I guess now, because I skipped a week. I drew this card before the reading. I've drawn it a few times since. I drew it right before this reading too, and I was just drawing a random card to throw up here to just test. I mean, the lighting's not perfect, but just to make sure everything looked all right. And this is a card that means, at its most basic, it means success, which is always, it's just a good one to see. So I left it up here while I was getting everything set up. And that is actually a card, the Ace of Swords, like I said, good card, but that is from this deck that I'm using and that I'll use for this entire episode, the Pulp Tarot deck, which, there you see that. Certainly one that you'll probably see around YouTube and places a lot. It's a very evocative deck. That's why I liked it. For anybody who doesn't know me, I do most of my readings more visually, based on what the cards kind of represent to me when I see them, as opposed to what their traditional meanings are. When I said this card means success, I was going off the traditional meaning. Before I knew it meant success, I would have looked at this and I would have thought empowerment probably. And yeah, I mean, success. There's a lot of different interpretations. It really depends on what cards are around it and what the question is, and what you're feeling when you draw it. At least for me. A lot of people do pretty much go off the traditional tarot meanings. I just wanted to let anybody watching me for the first time know that I'm trying to do that a lot more. I actually have a book right in front of me that's showing me the traditional traditional meanings, sorry. And I will be dipping into that a bit. But for the most part, I still kind of do go off of vibes, which is why this, vibes and visuals, which is why this Pulp Tarot deck is particularly good, because all of the aces are weirdly just hands of God holding the cup, sword, wand, or pentacle. But a lot of them are, like, you have ones evocative of horror movies, love, a lot of noir stuff in there, even just like businessmen or children books. There's a lot of cool visuals in it, so but we'll see that as this goes on. So yeah, how about we jump right in? I actually pulled, I think, maybe 12 questions, and I'm only gonna be on here for about an hour. So that may mean don't get to all of them, but I am planning later today and possibly tomorrow to hop on and do a live stream of me, a Twitch stream of me doing tarot and playing a couple games because I play video games all the time. I figured I can have my profile up and be doing tarot readings for people too. So this is also for anybody watching this who came here from Reddit. Just know that you might still submit a question even after I've done this show, and you might still get it asked because I might be, who knows how long I'll be streaming tomorrow. I sometimes play games for a while, so just throwing that out there. Yeah, all right, let's get to the first question of many. And I thought this was a fine first question because I am a fan of House MD, and I'm also a DJ. My initials DJN. So this question really resonated with me. All right. And thank you for writing in DJ. And yeah, I want to know about my love life. When I'm going to meet someone, would that someone be a new person or somebody I already know? Very fair question. And yeah, also I think a fairly easy one, at least as far as the reading can go. Alright. Do the shuffling. I'm gonna try and do my shuffling more on camera. I just wish I could angle it better. And really, you can see my shuffling isn't too intense. It's just sometimes cool things happen and like cool coincidences and stuff. And if you're always shuffling off camera, it's like it just doesn't seem as. And I say all that while I have this question pulled up in front. I just also trying to talk and think of what spread I want to do. Yeah, it's I'm overstraining my brain here. Literally, I guess just a 2-card reading. I've got to keep it easy. DJ, I hope you understand. House was all about getting results, and everybody lies. I don't know how that's relevant, but it is a fact, and House knew that. So let's just let's do a simple 2-card reading. When am I going to meet somebody, and will they be a new person or somebody you already know, somebody currently in your life? And we might even get lucky, and it'll be maybe the second card could even show kind of what your relationship might be with that person. Actually, let's make that the third card. First card, when am I going to meet somebody? And is it going to be a new person? And what will that person kind of be in your life? All right, and I'm keeping the question up instead of showing my face right now because I know I'm going to forget what I said all of these cards represent. All right. Gotta make sure that it feels right to do the drawing. It's hard to get an answer for when from a card reading, just to be clear. Just drop these cards on the cat a little bit. There it is. Sorry. Get a weird sort of feeling in my head when I feel like I've reached the right spot with the cards. Oh. So that's the win. Will they be a person already in your life? Wow. Okay. This looks a little ominous. Let's. I'll be honest. Well, I would say. Let me get your exact wording again. When am I going to meet somebody? And it's the Judgment card. for the win. I think this must mean probably imminently, and I do think based on the next two cards, it's gonna be somebody who you know already, who you're probably close with, and maybe. I mean, the second card almost makes it seem like it's somebody who you've maybe already written off or you feel already wrote you off. Um, I hate to tell somebody to go looking through their lover's catalog, but um, I I don't know how else to really read this other than yeah, it's going to happen because maybe even because of this, maybe this reading will spur you to look into, um, gosh, for the I'm just trying to decide whether that middle card could be you who was scorned or them, but maybe just look through the history of lovers and lovers, um, of past relationships or people who you're close with, who maybe could even be somebody who you thought something could happen with, who you wrote off. Um, what I get from this reading is that there's something happening soon. It looks kind of dark from the first two cards, but then we get to that third card that is like a more of a family unit. I mean, for the traditional reading of this card, I believe. Let me look at this: inheritance, good business, and marriage. But if like I said at the top of this whole show, I'm more of a vibes reader. I'd go off of imagery, and this, marriage would make sense for this. What this person is in your life is, I would say, they are pretty close already, or they have been before. So, sometime soon, it may become apparent that somebody who's already been in your life, who's been close or is close, is going to be that person for you. And maybe this will resonate and you'll already know who I'm talking about. But, yeah. Okay. All right. There we go. And thank you again, DJ, for asking that question. I very much appreciate it. And let me get to shuffling. All right. Back to another scene. And all right. I don't remember what the next question is, but I want to do a little bit shuffling before then. All right. Fair first reading. A lot of my issues, a lot of trouble with this is me figuring out what kind of reading I should do. Like on that last one, I was almost pretty dead set I was going to do two cards, and then I had that idea for the third card, but then I have a terrible memory, so I worry that I'm going to forget what role I assigned each cards. That's part of why I don't really do anything past 3 card readings, and why level 1 card reading. So easy. But, alright, yeah, I actually think that reading went well once I got the reins a bit. Alright, next question. Hey, I saw your post about readings, which I think is very cool, by the way, and that is part of why I chose this question. I appreciate being called cool. Alright, my question is, will my ex and I get back together? We've been broken up since the beginning of the year and are somewhat in communication, but I feel like he might just want to be friends. It's kind of weird and confusing. And favorite TV show is Dead to Me. I've actually seen a few episodes of that, but for some reason I fell off, I think literally because I stopped paying for Netflix. I think it's on Netflix, right? I'll have to keep watching it. I did really enjoy it. Alright. Okay. I mean, it sounds like maybe that he might just want to be friends, but never hurts to, ask a third source, third party. Yeah, alright. Again, I want to bring up the question because my memory is terrible and I'll forget what I'm drawing for. Alright. And how many cards do I want to draw? I mean, just, you want to know will you guys get back together? How about I do a 2-card draw? What's he feeling about you right now? And what is the chance of reconciliation? So, what's he feeling for you right now? And what are the chances of reconciliation for Owen Dam? That is a no. All right. How's he feeling for you right now? What are the chances of reconciliation? Shuffle until feels right. How does he feel about you now? Interesting. Chances of reconciliation. Okay. So, I will just keep saying this because I don't know if you're probably just gonna jump right to the timestamp. I am more of a visual card reader at the moment. I'm trying to incorporate the traditional meanings more, but I do just go off of vibes. Vibes and images. That's why I have this deck, which is called the Pulp Tarot deck. And I mean, we're literally looking at a man and a woman. Pentacles is typically more of like a material, money, stuff like that. Sword suit is more mental kind of stuff. I'm more of a visual reader though, and what I feel just looking at these cards is that you have to give me just a moment. Let me look at these so I can see them better. Just sit with these cards for a second. Because she seems very... the woman in this seems very suspicious for sure. And cagey. And the man is definitely desperate. But is he asking for help? It seems like he's offering money for help. How does he feel about you? I would say that he is maybe seeing you as a bit of a life raft. I don't know how to describe it. I don't think it's necessarily that he wants to get back together with you or anything. Maybe we see this as the kind of guy who's keeping in communication with you just in case nothing else pops up, if that makes sense. Doesn't mean that he doesn't, like you as a person, but he might just be, there might be other prospects or something. He's kind of like, I'm trying to think of how to word it other than just like, yeah, you're kind of like what he would reach for, what he would he's not even going to offer up the best of the best when he finally does come to you. This guy has like $4 in the picture. So I do think maybe it would be more of a desperation ploy if he did get with you, which I don't think anybody wants that. And maybe that's what paired with the second card is, that you should protect yourself, protect your belongings, keep your mind in a sense, and maybe the idea is that yes, there would be the possibility of a relationship in the future, but is that the kind of relationship you want? The one where you were the backup and then you have to steel yourself and be careful because he might just end up leaving anyway if something better comes along. I think we all know that those kinds of people are out there, so it maybe took me a second to get. I'm going to say that is, unfortunately, maybe what these mean. Is just, keeping you on the line. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. I like to do more upbeat readings about people, but it did sound like you maybe had a sense that he wasn't completely into you anymore. Which, with exes, that's perfectly fine, too. It's fine to move on. Might even be better. All right. Take a moment to take a sip of water. And does anybody want to see producer Leela? Let's say hello. This is producer Leela. She's very adorable. She's a little prickly with strangers, but she's very nice to me. And that's all that matters. Alright. Next question. This is one where it was an interesting question, and I do appreciate you asking. I don't remember if I think your initials were somewhere in between this on the part that I'm not going to publicize. So, unfortunately, I don't have that handy. But an interesting question that I will just answer publicly as politely, as discreetly as I can, because it's a fun question when you have all the details, especially. But basically, the public version of the question will be, what changes in my life could I expect to come from this trip? And let's I may end up I don't want to risk accidentally closing my stream by pulling up just because my laptop is very bad. You know what? I'm actually going to save this question for maybe doing on my other stream. All right. The one where I might just have more time to figure out some stuff for a more complicated question that kind of deserves it. So we'll save that one. A little tease there. All right. This one, this person's favorite TV show was Orphan Black, which is a show I haven't seen, unfortunately, but I know the star, Tatiana Maslany, is on this podcast I listen to kind of often called Comedy Bang Bang, and she's pretty hilarious on it. It's a drama show. I guess it's got comedy elements, I think, but a good show probably. Check it out. I did see her on She-Hulk, which was a fun show. If you're somebody who isn't an annoying right-wing person who complains about woke stuff all the time. Anyway, I thought that this was, this is a pretty easy question. A lot of people ask love questions, but this is the kind that I haven't gotten so far. So, all right. And it's hard for me to read from a distance. My initial is S, and there's one female staff. Her initial is JM. She's always willing to stand up and talk with me during her shift. This is subtle energy that hints she likes me more than in a platonic way. There is the subtle energy. She even brought me a drink for my belated birthday. But she's 6 years younger than me. I'm 29 and she is 23. So my question is she into me or is she not? Help me, the Delulu girl. All right. Okay. All right. I think that's a all right question. There's a lot of weirdos out there who are getting very, very precious about age gaps. Like, I think there are people out there who would say 29 and 23 is too big of one. I've always gone with the half your age plus 7 years, and it's always felt pretty safe. As a 33-year-old, that would mean half my age is basically 16 and a half plus 7. Was I like 23 and a half, probably 24 years old. And I probably wouldn't date somebody under maybe 25 even. Just feels kind of like, even just mentally, I haven't ever had any, since I've turned 30, I haven't had anything in common with anybody under like 25 even. So but I don't think that 29 to 23 is crazy, because 30, obviously the math comes out just fine. My math. I just thought I would address that because it seemed like you maybe have an issue, or were wondering if somebody might have an issue with that, because you said, but she is 6 years younger than me. I'm 29 and she's 23. I think that's fine. But yeah, just thought I'd address that briefly because it seemed like you maybe thought it was worth addressing on your own. So the question is, is she that into you? All right. Probably just one card draw. Keep it simple. You don't need anything complicating it. We could maybe do a 2 card. Well, I don't want to make assumptions. I asked anybody who gets a reading from me to at least reply to me. I would be happy to do follow-ups, possibly in the future. So let me just say that. Yeah, you can possibly do follow-ups. Sorry, now I'm shuffling and trying to do more shuffling on camera. Just because. Also because it looks weird when you're sitting there slightly moving your arms off camera. Okay. Is she into you? Should be. There's a lot of very evocative cards about love in this deck, about relationships, about feelings. Gotta make sure we're getting to the right spot. Okay. I think you probably like this one. Queen of Cups is an intuitive woman, and I basically the card could have showed me any number of things. It is showing me a woman looking directly my way, directly your way, and she's pensive. She's thinking about what she wants, presumably. I think that this is a good sign that she wants you. I mean, obviously, she at least wants to be friends. She does likes being close to you, but take a swing, but invite her to go somewhere. I think that at the very least, an intuitive woman knows that you're interested in her. Maybe even knows that you are interested in her. And she's clearly reciprocating. I would say this is a pretty good sign to, invite her to coffee as a friend, even. You don't gotta do it under the auspices of a date, but I don't think that would hurt either. Judging by, literally, we're looking at a lady drinking coffee, or maybe tea. Feels more like a tea thing. I'd say give it a go. I wish you the best luck. Like an easy one. And see, I like a 1 card draw for that too, because happy ending there. And we don't gotta complicate things by trying to make it more than it was. Alright. Hi, I'm AP. My favorite show is Friends. My question is that I've been trying to figure out my whole anxiety and depression phase. And since 7 to 8 months, I'm just numb, or maybe used to it. It just feels normal, but weird normal. What do you think? Half of its reason is also because I had my mother as my rock, but lost her 4 years back, and because of my love life too. Okay. This is a sort of a more than one question kind of question. Trying to think of how to approach this, because I picked it. I did bring, I didn't have to pick this question and bring it here, so I don't want to just skip it. It is just kind of a little complicated, though. I've been through depression phases myself, too, so I definitely can relate, yeah. So I guess you're probably looking for a way to climb out of this, it seems, which can be a lot to try to get out of a tarot reading, but I also don't think it hurts to ask in strange places for help when you kind of don't know what to do. As far as what the cards can maybe help with, yeah, maybe we can see if we can find a direction for you. Um, Shuffling the cards, but also trying to think of a possible direction to go with these questions. Okay. Maybe first card for how to man. Thing is, questions like this are hard, but if I want to do tarot readings, I got to kind of figure out how to figure out a spread for things like this. Maybe the my problem is though the question is a bit too open-ended. There isn't really a question in this, but I do want to. There is definitely a way to do spreads for emotions and digging into that kind of thing, and that is where I'm realizing right now I maybe have a failing as a tarot reader of not knowing that kind of spread. So what I want to do is I think I want to address this one tomorrow too, when I'm doing my more less I guess more on the fly tarot reading with the playing video games and stuff too. So I will come back to this one AP tomorrow as well. All right. I guess I probably should have vetted my questions a bit more, but hey, that's another thing for me to be learning. All right. I believe this next question was, it's a little longer, but I think it was still fairly straightforward. All right. Let me find the main thrust of the question. Well, it's kind of fun. Here, let's go through the whole thing. My college break's going to be over soon in like a month, and I recently broke up with my ex, whom I thought would be my life, but wasn't actually, as he lost his feelings and did his whole breakup over text. Oof. We are in the same college. I have to face him for like 4 damn years. Gonna be hell. Broke no contact several times, which was... hey, don't be so hard on yourself. We've all done things. I get it. It's been 2 weeks since we broke up, and I miss him, and I guess I'll always love him. I'm just worried about my college, and I want to be strong and not give a fuck. So it'd be really helpful if you can tell me how my college life will go, and about my love life too. And with an E, never seen it, but hey. Alright, love life reading and college life reading, okay. That's fairly straightforward. Yeah, you said you think you're gonna love him forever. That is true that sometimes you do love people forever, but you're in college. I had somebody back when I was in college who I thought I was gonna love forever too, and I don't anymore. But it did take a while, so just don't worry too much about that. Feeling like that feeling will be around forever. Yeah. But yeah, let's just do a. I was gonna say I've never done a reading about somebody's college life before, but one of my very first readings was somebody who wanted to know if they should go to college. So, and I have done over 100 readings, so I'm sure I've done others. It's just they don't really, for some reason, come to mind. Probably because I didn't really go to college. I tried, but sort of failed. I'm shuffling while I'm talking to you. It's just trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. All right. So, you said you were going back to your college break. So you're in college. I guess I don't know when people are in college and stuff during the year. I don't pay attention to that stuff anymore. So how will college go and your love life? I was just trying to think if there was a way to kind of condense it into one sort of 3-card reading, but let's just do a let's just do a two card reading, college and love life, and we can you can maybe expound on that later if you want. But when you reply to my reply, but one card for college, one card for love life. Okay. Wow, two major arcana cards too. Um, I always love it when that happens. But I think this was the right call for the deck. Yeah, Earl, focus on yourself, okay? Um, and yeah, don't focus on the guy who you think you might love forever. He's the devil, all right? He's giving you mixed signals just in your own head. I don't even know if he's actually giving you signals anymore, but you're definitely feeling him in your head. You can ignore him. He is just a distraction from what you should really be going after. And yeah, the Empress for your college experience. Just enjoy yourself. Don't overthink it. Just I want to look at what the traditional meaning for this card is. I don't even need to because that's just a pretty clear symbol, but I bet you it's something about creativity, resources, motherhood. I thought, probably about female empowerment, but just like, this is just such I love it when it's such an easy to read drawing. Forget about him, move forward. You are going to have a great college experience as long as you focus on you. Let yourself be the Empress. All right. Easy peasy. Love a reading like that. All right. This is another day where I feel like the actual cards are being kind to me. For some reason, I feel a little mentally off and like I'm fumbling, but I'm mostly just having trouble figuring out which spreads to do. This is a learning experience for me where now I know for next time I do really need to just nail down what kind of spreads I can do. Yeah, all right. Not a problem though. As long as the cards are kind, the spreads can take a moment. Just want to make sure. Okay. This person has a few questions. I think this is another one I will save for tomorrow. Just because I'm already at about 45 minutes, I might as well do an easy one. Again, this is teaching me for the future. I should vet my questions better. All right. This one looks quick. Hello there. My favorite show is Modern Family. I do enjoy that one up until the last couple seasons, but yeah, it's a good show. I would like for you to tell me how my ex is going to get it from the universe for cheating, gaslighting, betraying, discarding, etc., and jumping into another relationship immediately with a sort of look-alike. That sucks. We dated for 2.5 years, so it's really hard to just let it go like that. Fair enough. All right. I did just, when I got this question, I did partially choose it. Look, the cards are going to say what they're going to say. I hope that he is indeed going to get it, but the cards may not say that. Let's see though. Yeah, so I also picked this one because it's certainly not a question that I've had before. How will this person suffer? I thought it was interesting. I don't really want people to suffer, but romantically suffer, I am perfectly fine with that. Especially sounds like he deserves it. So, maybe one card for it's hard to tell time. I was gonna say for maybe when he'll suffer. Let's just see. We'll see what the cards have to say. Maybe they'll just paint a picture, the two of them when combined together. But let's shoot for the first card telling us when he'll suffer, and the second one to give us a bit of a visual flair for how it might happen. And there are cards that are just completely super happy, clearly thrilled, where it might just show that he's not going to suffer. But, we'll see. Let's see what the cards say. And if the first card doesn't really play out to show us that it'll be soon, there's a possible way that I might make that determination depending on if it's a numbered card. Because if it's a number 1 card, then that would probably mean soon, right? So yeah, let's just an ace would be 1. A number 2 card. Anyway, yeah, let's just see how soon it'll be and what kind of suffering it'll be. So. So I used the numbers, and I almost said, well, and like if you drew the Fool card, that's 0, so that would be almost immediately and imminent. But that is a very positive card. So what does this mean is kind of confusing based on what I was searching for. I think what this does mean, if we're looking for a way where he is going to suffer and the universe trying to tell me a way that he's going to suffer, I think he's going to have successes that look good on the outside, but are actually going to be very detrimental to him. This is like this card, Six of Wands, is a victory card. Very outward victory for sure, but perhaps when combined with the Fool card, which isn't a bad card by any means, even though it is a person running off a cliff, it does just typically mean the beginning of a journey, something fairly transformative even. But we ask the universe to tell us how he might suffer. In a fool's way, I believe that some sort of good things in his life are actually going to end up being pretty terrible for him. And will actually end up running him off a cliff. So I would just keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for how the things that look good in his life, like maybe even his relationships, see if, I don't stalk him, but, maybe behind the scenes. And I guess I keep calling it he. I don't know for sure that, yeah, I guess I keep saying he. It could be a she. Anyway, just maybe watch for ways that their life seems good, but they're actually kind of fucking it up, or the universe is fucking it up for them. I never thought to just do a tarot reading to ask the universe, hey, how is this guy gonna suffer? But I think, yeah, that was kind of an interesting way to get a read of things are gonna look good for him, but if you pay attention, I think you're gonna find that he's actually not doing as well as he seems. But it may look like he is from the outside, unfortunately. All right. Oh, I accidentally left the name of the subreddit in there, but there it is, our tarot practice. That's where I got these questions. Hannibal or Game of Thrones? Good shows. I really liked Hannibal. Very dark, gnarly show. Watch it if you got a strong stomach only. Okay. Why do I always just read these silently before? I'm always going to read them out loud anyway. Was the conversation they talked about my crush, in a way, was a malice attempt to check out my reaction? And when I distanced myself, did they realize it and feel guilt or remorse at all? So you have a coworker who was talking to you about R in a way to see if you were talking about them in a negative way to gauge your reaction, and then you distance yourself and you wanted to know if they realized it and felt bad. I think just in the future, I would just be positive that you've got your question written out in a way that's easy to understand from the other party. But I believe what you're asking is if this person from work came up to you, or these coworkers came up to you and were talking badly about your crush, and you wonder if they were trying to figure out what your reaction to that was. And then you've distanced yourself and you want to know if they realized it. So I will try and keep that simple 2-card reading. Were they doing a malice attempt, malice check? I'll just keep it as simple as that. Were they doing a malice check, and did they notice that you distanced yourself? How do they feel about that? Okay. Very interesting question. Definitely one I haven't gotten before, so I do appreciate the question, honestly. It is specific, like you said at the end of that, but hey, I appreciate it. Two sword cards, which are more kind of a mental card aspect, but since I am more of a visual sort of reader, I would say the Ace of Swords probably does represent that. I, I mean, typically what it represents is success. That's the base nature of that card. By the looks of it, I think that malice check maybe is too hard of a word. I do think maybe you were right though in your reaction to it. I don't think you were necessarily wrong with however you reacted, which was distancing yourself. And as far as whether they noticed or not, the Page of Swords, off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly what that card represents traditionally. Let me see, gossip and contracts. So actually very interesting that it did come up. Again, as more of a visual guy, this looks like somebody kneeling. I would say that they probably, they've noticed that you've distanced yourself. And as far as whether it's a big deal or not, I would say that they notice. Yes, I don't know that they necessarily feel bad. Maybe whatever they were trying to gauge and get out of you, they feel like they got. They've noticed, but I don't think you were wrong to do it necessarily. And maybe that'll resonate with you more than I feel like it's resonating with me at the moment. I don't think it was a bad idea. So, there we go. And dropped a card. All right. My favorite TV show is Vampire Diaries, and here's my question. I've never seen it. Heard it's, I'm just not a vampire guy, or a diaries guy, really. So, you know how it goes. My initial is M. basically, I had a breakup about 6 months ago from my relationship of 5 years with H. I had a pod reading previously with someone, and the reader said there are chances of reconciliation. However, when I asked about what she feels about me/reconciliation, they said she doesn't think about it. It was totally contradictory. Can you please provide a clear reading? So you just want to know basically if there's a chance of reconciliation with this guy or girl. Sure, we can try and get a clearer reading. It might be it's possible sometimes that the fates are unclear because the deciding factor hasn't been made yet. Let's see though. Let's see if I can get a clearer read of. How about a card for how he feels about you right now, and just a second card for chances of reconciliation. I think that we can get a pretty basic read of that. Whether reconciliation is even in the cards at all is what we'll look for with the second one. How he feels about you now, and whether reconciliation is even in the cards. Just try and get as clear of a reading as possible. All right. And I keep saying how he or she, how they are into you now. Sorry. I always find it interesting when we're drawing relationship cards like this, and oh. Sorry, I just wanted to reread the card. And I completely lost my train of thought too. Anyway, what do they think about you, and if there's a chance of reconciliation? And I have to be honest, I think even just you can tell from looking at this that it isn't the most happy looking reading. Let's for how they feel about you. The King of Pentacles, that is I'm more of a visual vibe sort of reader, and this is obviously a pretty stern, maybe even judgmental kind of person. For how they feel about you, I would say that they are watching you, and they're trying to kind of maybe be more of the adult in the room, or the adult in the room. Not that you're not being the adult, but they feel like they're being a mature one right now, and maybe that is means that they're keeping their distance, or they're trying to, not insinuate themselves in your life. But that's what I get from this card, is that they feel like they're being mature towards you and acting appropriately. The Five of Cups, visually, obviously, this is a woman who things aren't going her way. I get the sense that as far as reconciliation goes, you see there's upright cups there, but then spilled ones. I think it would be a messy reconciliation that's not going to end how you want it to. I think it almost seems like a reconciliation could happen, but eventually the cups will tip. And you'll basically be kind of back where you started, and probably sadder for it. As far as the traditional meanings of these cards go, which again, I'm more of a visual reader, but I do want to look at those. King of Pentacles typically means a prosperous man, and the Five of Cups typically means a loss or sadness. So very much, I was even online with the traditional readings for the second card. The first one, a prosperous man, I don't know if he's doing well, and maybe that just lines up with him anyway, but Again, I think that they feel like they're being the mature one, and uh, you know, I don't think that you should try reconciling based on what I've seen. It could happen, but I don't think it'll go well. Sorry. I appreciate you asking. All right, and yeah, I didn't quite get to 10 readings, but that is an hour, and I'm very happy with how some of these readings went, and I will be getting to more probably even later today, but for sure tomorrow when I'm doing the Twitch streaming. So, yeah, I appreciate anybody who, it looks like I even had a couple people drop by and view, and I did not have the chat up, so I hope people weren't trying to talk to me. But yeah, I appreciate anybody who stopped by and watched, and I subscribe. Find me on TikTok, I believe just Tarot Read Show. Also, you can send me questions at tarotreadpod@gmail.com. That was back when I thought this was more going to be a podcast. And yeah, check me out on Twitch too. I believe just at Tarot Read Show. I really should have all this stuff written down somewhere, but I'm slowly figuring out all the YouTube stuff, and I'll get better at it eventually. So yeah, just I appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, here let's do one more tarot reading. Do one more card, just because this is a tumultuous week, tumultuous day. Let's do a card draw, just for how things are going to be going after today. The vibe of the world after today. Of course. Of course. That for anybody who doesn't know, the tower is very bad. And unfortunately, that kind of makes sense. Alright. Well, wish I could have ended this on a slightly better card draw, but sometimes I feel like the card draws are more reflective of my own personal inner psyche, so maybe that's all that was. Alright. Thank you again for watching, and yeah, until next time, until next week, I appreciate all you guys, and yeah, have a good rest of your week.